So it's day two, der Macht. Such a cool word. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. Macht. I think there's a little roll of the ch, a little crunching noise that comes if you can actually speak German. But Macht, power. Anyway, just a side comment to start. But it's day two, and there's I guess a couple different things on my mind right now. I'll just start with the first one. I arrived at the gym yesterday, and it had been so long since I'd been to a gym, I was actually intimidated. Intimidated to even walk inside, and then inside I was intimidated by the whole atmosphere. It's something I haven't felt in a long time, but that's one of the elements of becoming a powerful person that's like the perfect example of why I want to pursue this will to power, I call it, this willing myself to a powerful person. I don't ever want to be in a situation where I feel like I'm out of water, can't handle something, or I'm gonna look odd because I'm a big fat guy trying to do exercises, or I'm just not part of an element. Whatever the situation is, I want to be powerful enough that I can walk into any room and have the confidence and control and knowledge and calmness, not to have to worry about goofy stuff like that. And it's just a natural thing. But it's such a goofy thing to look at a building and think, oh, I have to go in there and I don't want to go in there, and it's what's it going to be, it's all those games that the mind plays. But that's a big element of the will to power of my drive right now. Is I don't deal with situations like that too much, but it was kind of a nice reminder that, hey, it's that situation can present itself. It's still out there, and you have to become a much more powerful person so that you're never in that situation again. So that so that those feelings don't arise. I remember being in my teens and 20s, and I was intimidated by just about everything I faced. That situation was not only a daily thing; it was probably just 80% of the day outside of my house was being intimidated by situations, and it was nice to have outgrown that. I actually put myself in situations where I kind of forced myself to outgrow that. And now I guess it's interesting that it's still there in some way, shape, or form. But the will to power to overcome that, the will to become powerful enough not to have to deal with just stupid bullshit like that. Just another element of this. And the other thing is too, I was thinking, 5 years have passed since I put myself on one of these annual things, that was the first time I ever did it, and it was super powerful. It took me down so many roads. I experienced and learned so many things. I grew so much, and then the last 5 years have been kind of complacency, and they've probably been the fastest moving 5 years of my life. I don't even know what happened in some regards. I know I have, the business is up and going, and been kind of grinding that out. But really, those 5 years just flew by, and I remember that year that I devoted to growing before, and that year was probably the slowest year I've ever experienced, at least in recent memory. Every day was something new and something different, and life had a value, and life had a meaning, and paying attention to things around me, and learning from things that came up throughout the day. And it brought back the 24-hour day. And I guess what I mean by that is, and I remember being a kid, and I can remember feeling the slow pace of time as, say, you're playing outside and the sun starts to go down, and you can kind of feel that the light is leaving, and then maybe even just a cloud passing over the sun and the length of time it took for that to happen, and then as the sun finally drops and there's just one little glint of light in the air, but there's still daylight out, and the next thing you know it's dark, and that took forever. And when I'm in a situation where I'm just kind of living complacently and just moving through life and not really paying attention to things, just kind of going through the routine and the actions and living in that zombie world, those things fly by. So it's another added benefit to stopping and working on something and trying to develop something is, in my mind, I know, or I sense, or I feel, or I'm fairly certain that this is going to be a long year, and that's great. We only get so many years or so many months or days or whatever, it seems like just yesterday I was 19. Like, what the hell happened? 20 plus years have gone by. What the hell happened? I had some great times, but if I stop and I pay attention to it, it's going to become much more valid, much more valuable, and longer as well. So I was trying to think, there was something else I wanted to talk about today, but I don't quite remember what it is, so I'm just going to go in now and oh yeah, that's it. I was at the other thing that was intimidating at the gym. It's been a while since I've used certain pieces of equipment. Actually, it's been such a long time that now there's new pieces of equipment that I've never seen before, and I'm watching people do different things, and I saw this guy doing this thing, and it was a relatively simple move, and I looked at it and said, oh, that looks hard, I don't think I could do that, my sense of balance or my strength or whatever the case might be. And I think that I really need to make that a point on this trip to being powerful, is to do those things that I don't want to do or I don't think I can do, and at least make an attempt at it. The other element that I was thinking that I really need to do a lot more core strength and kind of build that up. Off and on throughout my life, I've gone to gyms, sometimes religiously, daily, for months or years at a time, and I never really, I got toned, but I never really got strong. I never really got, I put on some muscle, but minimal for the amount of work that I was doing. And what it really came down to was the processes. I was going in and just doing things that didn't feel too bad. I would lift heavier weights, but I would repeat the same exercises, and I was, in my mind, I was consistent. And I was content with that. It never became more or less. It just it was me going in and going through the actions and putting the work in, but I really wasn't. So I really need to test myself. That's going to be a big part of this goal, is doing crazy exercises I don't want to do or never thought I could do, and kind of growing from there. So I got to keep that in mind. Let's see, is that it for right now? I think that's it for right now. So this is day 2. I have to stay focused. I have to stay a part of it. It's good to be back. It's good to have a direction and to be on track and to be a part of something, a part of molding myself, creating myself, and not just going through the daily routine. So that's day 2.